think you know
Curtain,
what
basically.
Yeah. And it sort of jingles a little bit as a man walks out. He is dressed in a cape, sort of high, tall leather boots, and a pair of pants with 2 belts, and then like a loose shirt you would expect to find on a sailor in the 1800s.
Okay.
His hair is moved back in like a ponytail, and he has sort of a thin beard that doesn't seem to be able to grow very thickly. This is from what you've known at least would be the Duke, and you are in Bohemia. He just sort of looks over at you as he walks over. He seems to know exactly where you would be. As he comes walking over to you.
What cameras? No network.
And he gives you reaches out a hand to whoever is closest. Who's closest?
You know, Thymara will make herself
what place is
closest.
the closest to where he came out? What is closest? Who's closest to the place where he came out?
I'm asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, like,
my volunteer is the one who was closest.
Sure. Maybe she even moves a step forward.
yeah.
I'll shake his hand if you want.
You'll shake Thymara's hand and say,
I'm not Thymara.
Both of you, the thing is, both of you are volunteering. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Just let it be Thymara. I just,
Okay.
if no one
as
wanted
he,
to.
as he gives you a smile, a toothy smile, and says, "Welcome to Bohemia." He shakes your hand and says, "I am the Duke. You can just call me Duke, and perhaps we should move to a different room." He sort of clears his throat a little bit. "I'm sorry. It's just haven't spoken like this for a long time."
Sure, just get up and bows and nods.
You know, it actually has an almost sympathetic look in a sense of how long sometimes she leaves herself logged in.
He looks to the bar and says, "On the house," and then stands and gestures for you to come with him up the employee stairs.
On the house, as she just picks up her glass.
Takes everything behind the bar.
Get your packets and serve them.
Need to get my Russian vodka stock back up.
Well, you know,
Get over here.
he will sort of move with a surprising speed for a man who's just walking up these little spiral stairs up to what appears to just be like a little. It looks sort of like a living room. There's a couch, and the door here is also just covered by like bead strings, and there's no television. There's like a table and then another couch on the other side. The couch is sort of very worn, if you would. Someone has clearly been laying in them, and the other one has like a big old dog with long hair just laying in it, taking half the couch basically. It's a very huge dog. He's just sleeping, doesn't notice you as you come in. It looks very old. He just looks at it and just take a seat.
What color is this dog?
It's just sort of light brown.
Didn't the dog get away and there was a big dog that was at our place?
What?
There was a lot of dog hair at our place, remember?
No.
No? What?
Frackmeister had a dog, yeah.
Oh yeah, but that was like a little dog, wasn't it?
We didn't.
It was not a huge dog. It was a dwarf-sized
okay.
dog.
I thought you said it was a big dog. Well,
It's a big dog, but not a huge dog. Not this dog big. This is like a tiny horse.
It's just that we didn't find that dog either.
Probably.
If it's an awakened dog, because there was a shaman there as well.
Yeah, he might plot a revenge.
Maybe.
There was a shaman, and that was where all the dog hairs were, in the shaman's room.
No, the dog hairs were in the Decker's room.
Yeah.
Frackmeister's own room.
What was in the shaman's room?
I think you're
Just
overthinking
incense and weird jars with paint.
What you said?
And a big pillow.
I think you're
Anyway.
overthinking it.
But he does a gesture to the worn couches and like a chair. It looks like stuff that you would get if you sort of went online and looked for like free stuff that you can just come and pick up. Very worn, very lived in, not very well cleaned, but he doesn't seem to mind. This seemed to be just the kind of, he maybe lives here, hangs out here. Who knows? He just gestures for her to sit. Says, I'll just be right back. And he'll go and lean against the wall and close his eyes.
Sure. Warrior sits down. Don't want to be rude.
Sure.
Right. About 3 people can be in one couch, and then someone will have to sit next to the dog.
Thymara will sit next to the dog. It's fine.
I'll take the left side of the couch.
Plank will sit down next to Ziegler. Looks very suspiciously at the dog.
Dog's just sleeping, doesn't do anything. He has like long hair hanging down in front of his eyes.
Oh.
One of those dogs doesn't do
It
anything.
hasn't seen the world in 5 years.
I will
Who
pet mine.
knows? A few minutes pass of just sort of sitting here, like he's just standing there doing nothing, before he just gives a deep breath and then looks at you again, taking you in, opening his eyes, and begins pacing a little bit as there's no place for him to sit. So, I suppose you know who I am. I introduce myself. May I know who you are? Next to you.
Ziegler nods. You can call me Sovereign.
Thymara smiles and says, "You can call me Vice."
True warrior.
AzureWeb. Thanks.
He studies you. This is, and this is your whole team, yes? Everyone's here?
This is the night shift.
Good. I was informed by our mutual friend that your team contained none of you are awakened. He sort of looks at the different pieces of cyberware and such. Is that correct?
Indeed.
So nods. And beyond that, you appear to all be metatyped human.
That is also correct.
He nods. Wonderful. If I asked you to work with an awakened troll, would you have a problem with that?
Ziegler frowns. No.
Looks to the rest of you.
What?
So that's a quirky eyebrow.
I've worked for Waken, I've worked for Trolls. No problem.
Trolls are fine. Good soldiers. Nods.
Yeah, nods. They are good soldiers.
That is great to hear. You don't know how long it has been since I found a team like yours. The composition. It's brilliant.
It's nice to be appreciated.
Most people who are unawakened and only stay around non-metatyped people tend to, well, be a bit bigoted, to be honest. She said, it's a shame, really, but it's good to see that you're not like it. She smiles. So, I have been looking for a team like yours for quite some time because, well, I don't know how much you know about me, but I'm a man with certain desires in this life. So I have things that I care about, as most do, and I'm in a position where I can do something about them. However, sometimes me acting in this way makes others dislike me. And, well, sometimes that creates conflict. Sometimes those people also expect what I can do to stop them. As it turns out, most people I work with here aren't the greatest with guns or traditional means of getting things done.
And why would you need guns and traditional things to get Well, to get things done, I have seen mages and shamans in combat. You can certainly throw a fireball.
That is very true. We can create things of great magnitude, but when someone expects it, there are ways to prepare against it. And when someone prepares so much against the astral, then they generally are not so well prepared against things that are not astral. It says, why fight the enemy where they're strong when you can fight them where they're weak?
It makes sense.
I'm glad you think so. So, he sort of seems to think a little bit and says, how much, before I begin, how much do you care about why I want you to do what I want you to do? Should I just skip that part, or
No, not.
do you prefer knowing why? Or does it not matter to you?
I would
It
like to know
depends on
why.
the severity, I think.
I'm generally curious, but
As well, I can certainly say that I would not ask you to do something I was not justified in wanting you to do.
I think.
Though I have a feeling that anyone would say that.
Yeah.
indeed,
Very well.
Maybe, yes, maybe explaining the situation a little bit will allay our potential concerns. If you're asking for a full-out assault on something, well,
Well, do you want the background first or the task first?
Background?
Very well, the background. Have you heard of the St. Habsburg's Veteran Charity? You probably have,
not.
in some sort of... Well, I mean, Ziegler was in the war, so he probably has. It's a charity that helps people, helps veterans. At least it used to be veterans. Now there are not really so many of them left that need help. But it helped them gain access to body replacements when they had lost limbs in war and their salaries were not enough to have them replaced.
All right.
And he will say as much. It's a charity that aided people of the Euro Wars, especially the latter one, to recover after combat injuries that they had no means of recovering from. However, this has not been the entire truth, if I am to say so myself. The organization is involved in some things that me and my community are highly against. You see, when they replace people's body parts, they don't do so with the modern, new, high technologically adapted cyberware. He sort of looks to True Warrior's arms as a show of stuff like that. So instead, they take in used cyberware from people like you, who have failed or some such. They generally buy it from mortuaries or get it donated cheaply. Some of this stuff is very old and has several problems to it. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if people just had one piece or two pieces. However, whenever someone awakened requires their help, they use the oldest and the worst piece of cyberware and tend to put way too much in there, effectively making whoever they're operating on emotionless and easy to control. Then they employ that person as almost a slave worker for very little pay, a charity worker. The person no longer has the ability to really say no, nor can they access their feelings or their soul or their passions. Sort of shudders a little bit. Now I know that you could not possibly hope to fathom what this means to someone awakened, but safe to say it is You're killing them and enslaving their dead body when you do this. They might once have done good, but, well, we need to get rid of them. And that's where you come in. I have taken certain actions against them in the east of the city, but my actions have been met with strong resistance, and I have sadly been unable to so far curb their growth or expansion in the city. Now they have opened a clinic in the west here. Their strength in the east is substantial. There's a lot of people there who lose limbs and who are desperate. Here, not so much yet, though I fear this is more for acquiring more old cyberware they can then transport to the east and use there to, well, enslave people. I would like you to go to this clinic they have opened here and free one of my associates who disappeared around the area. I have it confirmed that he went in there and hasn't returned yet. If you, while doing such a harmless extraction mission, was to make sure that that place never opens again, then I would add a little bit of a bonus on top of what I'm already going to pay you for the retrieval of my friend.
What if your said friend is gone? He has been completely...
He sort of looks pained and says, if he is gone, then I would ask that you kill him. End his misery. It is likely, I suppose, that something like that has happened to him, but I like to keep up hope.
I understand.
Any questions so far?
What area of town is it? Population-wise, things like that.
It is in the southern area, not too expensive. They likely didn't have too much money to do it. Draco territory, lots of charity things working there. They're abusing the system quite a bit for it. Probably shouldn't take too long to do the mission. There will likely be, well, stars coming out once things get hot.
You said they had heavy spiritual defenses, but do you know anything of their meat muscle, as it were?
Seems pain again. From my looking at the place, I've seen a few of their, well, their volunteers, as it were. Looks pained. You can't miss them. They look more machine than men at this point. Old pieces of cyberware just huddled, horridly put everywhere. Almost everything has been replaced. They're only just alive at this point. They're not smart, though, but they will follow the orders of... He just shakes it. I don't understand these technological things, but as I understand it, they have earpieces built into their heads where someone in there gives them orders. I expect the leader to be present, or at least return to the place once he notices that something is going on. He was a shaman named Nathaniel. I couldn't call him such anymore, though he still has ample ability to defend his place from us.
So he's a burned out?
I'm not entirely sure. Beyond that, they likely have some drone defenses. Cameras on the outside, at least. The place is not a fortified location, it's a clinic.
Should we expect any shamans fighting us, or only
Sort
These
of looks at you.
unfortunate people.
Just, excuse me?
When we go to this place, are there gonna be any shamans to fight us?
She says, no, definitely not.
It's only the unfortunate.
Most likely. It is a mercy if you were to kill them. End their suffering. Killing might not even be the right word. Free their essence, I suppose.
Right.
Well, seems easy enough. I've blown up stuff before, I can do it again.
The man I want you to find, his name is Wanik. He generally carries a wooden totem of a bear around his neck. He's an older man of Native American descent. Weathered. I fear he might be... He shakes his head, stops that thought, and says, you will likely know him from the others. And if not, well, if you end them, you will have likely ended him as well.
You fear that he's what?
I fear that they have done what they would have done had they got their hands on any other awakened. It's mental mutilation. It's a horrible thing. As I said, they're strong in the east, southeast, but we can't let them spread here.
Well, I think I've understood the situation. Looking at the others. Well, I think we'll take this. Yes.
Nuts.
Thymara nods.
I suppose I can get on board with this.
It's already been a few days since when he disappeared, or was taken, I suppose. I do not have great hope of finding him whole. But that is, if possible, that is the primary mission here. I would prefer that this gets done faster rather than later, though it has taken me some time to find a team that seems suitable for the mission. You have no astral trace, you will leave no... I was told you were discreet, and in this way, I suppose, using no magic, no awakened abilities is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, we'll get in, take a look around, see if we can find your man, and once we're done looking, we'll try to make sure the place doesn't keep operating.
He'll give you a nod to that. Well, then I suppose that's all.
All right then. Ziegler will put out his cigarette at an ashtray or something, and get up. The droid's buzzing, and
Yeah.
the meeting is done for him.
Chivora gets up as well.
Sure.
Right.
Bows and then leaves.
I assume you're going home after that.
Yep.
Ready up for the mission.
Yeah.
What group do we exactly expect to piss off from doing this?
The charities.
Like, what group would they come under, though? Would it be
The
like
evil
medical?
corps, probably.
Some
These people would be in the Matrix category.
Oh my!
Hmm,
They
interesting.
are technologically based people.
Matrix.
This will be interesting to gloat about later.
And I will add for you. I actually need to log into the sheet to do that. Turns out. I will add Duke as your contact.
Oh, sure.
We have an arcane contact, everyone. Congratulations.
Hooray!
You will currently have a 0 loyalty, as well. You haven't pissed him off, but you haven't made him like you.
Hopefully we'll change that loyalty level after the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is when Ziegler uses his one of his free loads and drops a grenade.
Pulls out a grenade launcher. Ah!
Die, hippie.
Yep.
It's true,
Kaboom!
you could technically fit a grenade launcher in your light load still.
I certainly could, yes. Thanks to Plank, I'm actually medium load all the time. It's just no
That
one
technically-
notices.
I mean, technically, yeah, you can get the heavy plus,
Yep. I can.
which is intimidating when you consider it.
I'll probably go heavy load on this.
I have a feeling most of us might want to go heavy load for this. It sounds like we're going in loud. Well, not going in loud, but we'd be definitely
But
going
we
up.
are definitely expecting trouble.
I mean,
in a
nothing
sort
else.
of-
Even if we're going quiet, we're leaving loud. I think is the opposite.
Yeah, no, we're gonna take that thing down. Like,
Didn't
definitely.
he say he wanted us to be discreet, though?
He also said he wanted us to take out the
You wanted to
entire
be discreet by
business.
not using magic.
Ah, well, that's easy.
The one of the things though, one of his requests was to, if we can, we'll get a bonus for it, take them down permanently.
Oh boy, can we?
So remember, Jonas, you know how
Get those
you know how engineering covers explosives.
subjective.
Yes, I know. I'm a sapper, as it turns out.
I will be right back. You can perhaps talk about how you want to do this, right?
So my
I'll be
my
right
initial
back.
basic idea hearing this is, so this is initially a rescue, then it's demolition.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, Such will get in, get to target, place bomb, run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say attack from the sewers, if possible. We go in through the basement.
Forsaken Throne style.
Get inside, find the target.
Yep. Extract and then blow it up.
We want to be as quiet as possible until we get to the target. Once we've got the target, whatever the hell.
It's if it's down in Draco Foundation territory, it's probably pretty old, probably run down. Like who knows how the sewers and stuff go down there? It's probably everything is probably connected to everything, and I don't think they have shored up too much defenses down there.
It's a clinic. They weren't expecting us to just like rat our way in.
Exactly. And we can certainly get. I mean, we might be so lucky that they actually have a sewer access in their basement that they've just boarded up. Otherwise, we can make a way in. Although that is certainly a loud option.
There's
Considering what
sixes.
Considering what we're potentially doing then for your drone, since technically you also have a skill in your drone to set, potentially you might want to even set that onto engineering to just make sure we get the biggest ass explosion we can get.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
A demolition robot.
Yeah.
He's going to come in. It's like, okay, so where's your explosives? Well, Plank is carrying 2 sets of explosives. Wait, what?
Yeah. Clank. Yeah, it's like basically angled demolitions to blow a hole. They don't need to be very large or loud either. Just hitting key structure points to break down the wall.
Yeah.
could be inside.
So, what would we need?
Well, bring things that makes you prepared for combat.
Well, as said, yeah. Luckily though, we don't have to decide that until we get in there.
I'll bring the cocktail kit.
Basically, I am gonna go. I think yes, everyone go in heavy. And
Oh my god,
yes.
be ready with the explosion. You have cocktails ready? So we can sip them with an explosion in the background.
Yeah, I think
Cool
Lovely.
people don't look at
Yeah,
explosions.
I think the first thing is we're all going in heavy load.
The fucking
think
sunglasses comes down from above on Thymara as the explosion happens.
Like,
and instead of
and Doge spiders there.
Yeah, Doge
Instead of
spiders
like a,
there. Oh, where's Doge spider? Is he on your sheet?
Bottom of the
I think
sheet.
he's still
In-
instead of a blunt coming up, it's
Yes,
actually like a
Doge
martini
spider.
glass coming up.
I believe if I remember correctly, Doge Spider is attacking my cyber deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sticker.
Doge spider.
You
Now this is why it's a good thing I'm not a technomancer, else I would pull that out of the computer.
Yeah. Doge spider would
You
attack
know
out.
what? If True Warrior wakes up one day and her jacket on the back is a Doge spider, she would not be angry.
So what's the plan?
Heavy loaded.
The plan is we load up and blow the thing up. The plan is to attack from the sewers, because we reason that the Draco Foundation area is old, and there's probably a lot of old sewers and old buildings, and no one has probably shored up the walls and stuff down there for quite a while. And maybe if we go in from below, we can use some targeted satchel charges to blow a hole into the clinic and basically assault it from below.
Well,
All right, so it'll just be a straight up assault then.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
no hiding then.
One of the big things, of course, is as soon as the alarm's set, we've got 10 minutes at most before the cops arrive.
Is that in Draco territory, though?
Generally in Berlin, you can expect it to be around 10 minutes for a response of some kind.
Because I know.
Draco Foundation territory doesn't have like an armed force really, so you won't get a helicopter or something showing up. You'll probably get a few patrol cars and a few yelling Lone Star. To begin with, at least. If you kill those, then you can probably expect something heavier.
Because I do know also that a lot of like power lines and stuff go down there. So say if we cut power, would that stop the alarm? Other ways of stopping...
That is certainly a potential thing.
I mean, it would potentially cut the alarm, but of course people could still phone in once they work out what's going on.
That is the kind of thing that we could see you do in a flashback, for example.
Yeah, but I'm just asking, is it possible to make someone not being able to call in an alarm? Like, is it in the realm of possibility?
Generally, they would use their local network to do it, and like send a distress thing, distress signal, which surely you could deck and interrupt it or something like that. You know, recall it.
Basically, then if AzureWeb goes in to isolate them netwise, then we blow the wall down there and basically assault them from below. They will have no way of communication. They will be only themselves, and we will take them out.
And we're not using any doors. We'll make them.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is though, like we could try to like infiltrate this place, but it seems to me that they're so suspicious and that they would make it very difficult for us. It's not like open access or anything like this place. It's like a private clinic made for a very specific purpose. It's not like the hospital that's so big that we could just basically go in there with fake credentials.
Hey, they were damn good fake credentials. Wow, actually damn good real credentials.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's probably like one guy at this place who runs it. So any credentials would be like, that's me.
Well, the other option of filtration, of course, is not the bluff past, but the don't get seen.
Right, but that's also the part of going into through the basement, right? Is that we don't want this to spill out into the streets. We want to keep it in the building.
That's right. The giant explosion might be an interesting
Like
thing.
I know today, like SWAT teams and stuff have like specially like targeted like charges that are pretty quite small and very effective at blowing up walls and doors and stuff. They're not very loud either.
And
it's just a series of very small controlled explosives to like ruin or make a hole in a wall. Like no one outside the building would even notice it. It's even doubtful that anyone that is not in the basement would notice it.
Depends if it's also busy upstairs, potentially.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't really know. It's difficult for me to sort of project, like, explosive technology that exists today into Shadowrun, but I know stuff like that does exist today, and it could maybe exist in Shadowrun, or like Ziegler could, like, he is engineering and he's good at blowing stuff up and these things, so he could, like, make that, I'm thinking. Basically, an explosion.
That could be a way in, yeah.
Okay. One of the things also I think we're all pretty happy with is I think we're going in heavy for this.
Yes.
Yeah. Going into the sewers.
If you don't think I need to be heavy, I think normal is fine.
I mean, the point is, like, if we're going in with this loud, I don't think it makes a difference if we're heavy or, like, we might as well just have all the potential equipment we need.
Yeah, I think we're going to war, so we might as well go to war.
You're going for the bonus objective. What it sounds like.
Like, you can bring less technically, but is there a reason for you to not bring more equipment?
I
Yeah.
suppose not.
Exactly. We're gonna blow shit up. There's no point in
Oh
being
no,
subtle.
6, like 3 armed Shadowrunners and a woman.
Yeah.
Look at this
Like-
nice woman.
Yeah, especially with
I
like,
was
okay, you
thinking
might as well bring the equipment since we're bringing our equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as one guy does it, that's generally well. I mean, I guess you could split up, but you
Mhm.
know.
Yes.
All right.
True warrior shall
Alright.
go in as the face.
Hello.
It sounds like you have your details figured out there of how you want to do this. So did AzureWeb want to like try to do something before you like actually charge in?
Before the group charges in, yes, I think one thing she would want to do is indeed to try and get into the system and basically be to try and disrupt any chance they have of getting through to.
Now, of
Cool,
course,
yeah.
they do have their own local network, but you'd have to be in the clinic to connect to it.
Here's just on my look. I'm looking at my gear. 2 options I have is both the portable phone plus booster, but I also have my electronics warfare kit, which potentially, I mean, if we're nearby to it.
Or perhaps even Thymara could aid in getting you into the building long enough for you to do your magic. Because that's all you need is just to be in the building long enough to do your tang, right?
I don't need to be directly inside. It'd be possible to like wirelessly connect into the building from like nearby.
With your electronical warfare kit, it seems like the kind of thing that you'd be able to make like a local smaller network and then somehow try to connect to the bigger one. That seems like a thing that you would
Yeah, that's fair. Sure, I'll
do. Though generally to get to people's networks, you have to be in the local vicinity of where it's hosted. Like it's basically like a sphere around the place.
I mean, if we're going to be like underneath it, then that's pretty close.
Yeah. Well, they might not have reception down there, but
But that's why I've got the electronics warfare kit to boost.
sure. So I guess we'll see that first. If you would wanna do that basically before you go in. This will be probably risky, and the risk is that they notice that someone's trying to mess with their stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
As as everyone's getting things prepared, Ashley pulls out from her gear this black box and begins to set everything up. And tries to jack in. Let's see. Well, we want. This would be electronics, I guess.
Sure.
Sounds about right. Do I want to boost this?
It's pretty good if they don't notice you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to push myself with 2 karma.
All right.
Actually, really wants this to work. So she's put some extra legwork into researching this place out beforehand.
Right now we see Ziegler sitting there, like setting up the explosion on
Yep.
like the ceiling of whatever nasty sewer tunnel you're in.
Yep.
As you sit there, like in the dark with the like electronic lights. Yeah. Stressed out.
Pretty much, you just see a glow shining out from her cyberdeck, and then the black box beside her blinking away.
Sure.
Ziegler setting the charges, mumbling.
All right.
That is a good thing I did that.
Fuck
You
yeah.
have a 6 there. So you believe that you have indeed shut down their immediate ability to call for the police. You have isolated their local network.
Wonderful.
The glow from the cyberdeck would change, and Ashley will look up from it, look over, press the button on the box to turn it on, to disable it for a second, look over with a slight smile, being slightly illuminated by the darkness. Done.
Ziegler nods. Ready?
Scream.
You didn't leave any spiders around this time, right?
Not this time. If I have to
Good.
hack anything else, I will. But
Ugh.
At this point, Ziegler presses the button.
He has both his drones down here as well, yeah.
Oh yes, of course.
All right. So from this sort of we see the finger press the button, right? And then we jump to like a freeze frame of you almost like comic book style, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like with the lines and such. It's a shock image of you sort of standing in a room, having just like basically behind you we see like a hole in the floor of what seems to be like a closet sort of equipment area thing, cooling room. With a drain in the bottom, probably where you found out that you could get in. But you open the room to where you see basically a man stand over like a bloody operating table. It looks like a clinic, basically, an operation, a surgical clinic. And this man stands with his mask on, and to the table is strapped what seems to be a young man. He looks like he's unconscious right now, just probably like sedated, as this surgeon stands and is actively working, doing surgery on this young man right now. As he like looks shocked at you, as you move in to the room. What do you do?
Well, if Tina was here, I'd say we all looked at Shoe Warrior, but
Time to use your grace, shout it down or something.
You know, pointing all the guns at him, basically. Ziegler says we're looking for a shaman, bear totem around his neck. Is he here?
He looks down to the young man he's actively doing surgery upon, and looks back up to you like, you know, like he doesn't want to hold his hands up. And he has like the scalpel and the knife and these operating instruments that he's standing with here. Mm-hmm. Looks like he's trying to install like some sort of cybernetic thing in this man's torso.
Is it good cybernetic thing?
No, it's not really, not great. Like it's old, basically. It's functional but old, and unnecessarily bulky, and yeah. Well, he'll basically just let out like a shocked scream.
I guess we shoot him then.
Yeah. Fuck. All right, shoot him.
All right. Are you trying to shoot him before he gets to scream, or?
Yeah.
Because
preferably.
that sounds like a risky maneuver here to shoot him before, with the danger, of course, that he screams and is very loud.
Sure.
What I
Though
imagine...
I guess a gunshot is also pretty loud.
I mean, if Shoe Warrior is back, maybe she can again
I'm back.
katana him.
What's up?
Yeah.
We have
maybe.
a doctor who's discovered us, and we need him to be down and dead very quickly and
The
quietly.
doctor is mid-surgery as you burst into his room, and he looks to you and is about to scream. Because, like, fully armed terrorists are
Cue Shoe Warrior.
in his door.
Yeah. What?
A young man is unconscious and open on a surgery stall.
Oh.
And he's about to scream and like alert people in the building, basically.
Oh. This is bad on so many levels.
Get to work.
I mean, we either shoot him and cause noise, or you like, yeah.
No, I don't care about him. I was thinking about the dude who's open.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's fucked anyway.
Gone.
Don't worry about
He's
it.
gone.
Oh, well, okay.
We're not angels. We're executioners.
I take your word for it. Later,
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
when I listen to this.
Well, what
Yes.
do you do?
No, we are literally executioners, remember. We have that as our trait.
Snap second. He's going to scream right now and yell out.
These are the bad guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cut him open.
All right, what do you do?
Runs towards him and cut him open.
All right,
Doesn't have to be that complicated.
let's see how fast you are.
Oh, she's fast.
Would that be athletics?
That sounds like a reasonable way to be fast. He certainly is not able to defend himself. He has an operating scalpel tool. That's not going to do anything. And he's a doctor. He's not strong or particularly quick or dangerous, really.
I would like to take It's a desperate action, then I get another dice in it, right?
No. You can push yourself by spending 2 karma, and then you get another dice.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So I have 2 dice.
All right. The risk here is that he gets to scream before you kill him.
Yeah. But you know,
Basically.
that was the risk regardless.
Can,
But maybe now I have a bigger chance of killing him before.
Can Warburg assist? Although he's not distracting him really. Like we've done before.
Want me to roll, or do you have something in mind?
You might as well roll. I don't have.
Remember I said it's 2 dice.
Yeah, I thought I had. 7.
All right. That's there's you do it. So you do run over and like cut him basically. Just where does she cut? Like sever the head. Is that the
Yeah.
we're going for here?
Definitely. You want to roll for the damage?
Well, there's no such thing. He's dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like he can't
Well-
survive a katana cutting off his head.
I don't know. Maybe he was pumped with cybernetics or something like that.
Oh, that certainly would have been a possibility. He was not, however. He seemed to be genuinely just human, unimproved.
But you know the
Yeah,
fact
you
that he's
move over and you slice the head off. Now there is a complication with this, and I'm going to start a clock for alarm, basically, because although he did not scream, there certainly is some commotion down here. That shouldn't have been. That shouldn't be here, according to the people who own the place. So I will make a clock right here, and I will fill in this part.
The detail. It's
Mhm.
beautiful.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually draw the clock there.
Van Gogh would be proud, honestly.
Oh no, alarm! Alarm!
When that fourth one there is filled in, then there's no way back.
Who turned out the lights?
Yeah, his head tumbles off. The young man is laying there, quietly breathing. He's like a face mask on.
We'll
Is he
turn up the
wearing
ends.
a bear totem, perchance?
No.
Let's take care of this guy. Just end him. He's gone.
Julia nods and puts her hand on his head and says a silent prayer and slits his throat.
All right, he is completely. He is completely out. So I suppose the young man simply dies, not knowing anything about what's going on.
If his eyes
Blood
are
like
closed,
dripping and running out of the floor. Innocent blood.
It's for the best.
it's
He was
for the
gone.
best.
He was gone.
He's gone, man.
gonna be-
In the room, there is a stair up. There is the way back to the the medical closet that you came out of, and then there is sort of another way covered by sort of see-through plastic hangings, basically, into what seems to be a cooling room.
All right. I guess we'll move forward. Shubor in the front because she's the one with the katana.
The bloody katana.
Katanas. I have 2.
Oh my god, do
You can have 2, then tack 2 on your sheet.
I'll do that right now. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Um,
I suppose you carry those 2 into the. Where did you go? Into what room? Up the stairs or into the cooling room?
I think we just clear the floor basically, so we peek into the cooling room.
All right. In here, you see like a cabinet with what's probably medical supplies, and then you see a lot of large white containers with like a red cross on them. They look like the kind of place where you'd store organs and the like.
Mhm.
In here, they're very big, like about 2 meters wide, or long, and then a meter wide. So,
Sure.
they have like
Pretty
long, large lids and such.
Those are huge.
Ziegler wants to look around because the plan is to set this place ablaze at the end of this, or blow it up, whatever is most easy. And doing it down here with all the pipes and gas lines and stuff seems like a pretty good idea, probably. So if could he like look around here and basically see if that is possible to set up down here?
Sure.
Then he will do so.
All right.
Are we supposed to look for this friend of his first?
We'll get
Yeah,
there.
we're not detonating it now, but we're setting the charges.
Okay.
We're dealing with our exfil before we need to use it.
You know, because then when we're running away, we can just press the we can just whatever the destination happens to be.
Yeah.
I send a spider. I send a spider emoji email to someone.
So what you want to do basically is get an idea of how you could best blow up this place.
I want to use my knowledge of engineering to see how the best place can set the charges to tumble this
Like
place into
structural weak
nothing.
points and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Now that would actually not be engineering. Engineering is when you engineer something. What you're talking about, I think, would be in the area of surveying.
Isn't blowing stuff up engineering?
Yes, if you're actually blowing stuff up.
That's
However, it is not knowledge of engineering specifically. It's assumed that you already know that. You have that knowledge.
Okay.
You know how to blow something up, but you're trying to look for where the weak spots in the building.
Does anyone want to assist me with this then? Because I didn't pick survey for my bot.
if I could, I would, but I can't. So I shan't.
Do you need a point in it yourself to aid? Is that a thing?
I have 1 point in it.
No, if you can tell me how, like if your character does something that's helpful, then that's enough.
Yeah, so it's not like you can't aid Halldamir.
I mean, sure, but I don't know how Thymara would help.
Basically, when Ziegler begins to look around and check out the place, what do the rest of you do?
Keep an eye out if anyone is gonna. There was another one. There was a staircase up, right?
In the other room, yes, there was a staircase up.
Sure, I will keep an eye on that staircase. See you soon.
Alright, how about this? If Thymara just says to Suffering, what do you like? What's easy to look for? What's a clear sign? And I'll look for that.
Sure. Ziegler will give typical things like cracks, load-bearing beams, pipes, gas pipes, for example. He'll try to describe as he goes through one wall of the room, muttering to himself.
Sure. I think this will probably be a. Yeah, you're probably in a control position here. The danger being that it takes, like you can do it. It's not really a problem. The danger here is just how long does it take, right?
Okay. Sure. Then rolling 2? Question mark.
Yeah, if your body of ice pays the karma to assist you, then yeah.
1 karma from Vice.
Yeah, 1 karma.
You know, for you to drop you up again, so.
Yeah, I'll take the
no.
hit for you.
Nope.
No,
Right.
no.
Well, this means that you do spend time looking down here, but the place might just be too dilapidated or like badly maintained, or the walls are simply mostly just bare concrete. There isn't really any great precisions to do it. Like you could brute force it probably just by enough explosives will do it, but there doesn't seem to be any advantage sort of good spot basically. As for the crates, they seem to contain cyber limbs and the like.
Anything useful, or is it just trash?
You could spend additional time digging through that.
Ah,
You know, I haven't declared war, actually.
it's true.
Maybe you find it.
So is that something you want to do now?
like one thing, like while they were doing that, could have Ashley say been like looking at some of those and seeing if she could take any of the like.
Sure. Basically, what you find here is that most of these are maybe 40 or 30 years old. They are mostly outdated, and they also appear to be used, most of them. Meaning they have sort of wear and tear. They might have been in more than one body, some of these. Generally not really something that you might actually want in your body if you can help it. It's certainly, like, many of them would bring you some benefit, but it might not be worth it with these sorts of things.
No, there's nothing here that seems to be good. Nothing here that seems to be easily salvageable.
It's the kind of stuff that people would actually donate instead of like selling. So most of it is unsellable.
Okay.
Well,
So outdated.
I suggest we keep moving on then. And maybe if we can blow things up in the basement, we can probably find a server room or something and blow that up. You know, we can always blow something up.
I mean, one thing to be said is you putting one of the charges in that room to destroy all their stock.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Sure. Definitely. Just put it in a big bag, and I'll put like a charge on the pile. You know, that's easy enough to do.
Can't take down that area? Fine. We'll just blow up all the stock.
And then I guess we'll move up the stair.
Look, you're carrying plenty of explosives, right?
I have so much explosives.
Good.
He is explosives.
Well, you move up the stairs and basically get out to a hallway. There's like a red light that says operating, like next to the door, just shining there. It's probably some sort of thing you could turn off down there. Should you no longer be operating, as it were.
I think the operation has ended.
You hear some talking from like out in what's probably the front of the clinic. There's a few more doors here. Nothing that looks particularly different from each other. I'll make a little sketch that might be easier to explain what things look like. So basically, you're in a hallway here. You're like out of a door here. There's another door there and there and there, and out here there's a bend that goes to what's probably the front of this place. There's probably like rooms here. Just a stairway down. Here it goes and turns around here too. So a door here and here. So you have 5 doors and 2 routes that probably lead out to the front, both of them.
Okay. Well, I guess we make our way out in the corridor. If we sort of sneak around, like take a look around the corner, are there people in here, like actual customers or whatever?
You do see by the desk that, yes, from the sounds of it, without going there, it does appear that there is someone talking. It seems to be a worried elderly lady who is asking how long it'll take and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck,
She's dead. We need to kill her. Yeah, just kill the old lady.
Well, a young woman dressed in sort of white clothes with a tie that's nicely tucked and such, a long skirt is talking to this woman.
All right. Well, I guess
keeping her calm.
We'll check some other doors then.
Sure. Which one? Where do you want to go?
Where were we at exactly? This one?
You are here. Yep.
And then the office, and then where everyone was like talking is
out here.
There.
You maybe?
Sure.
You move over there and go to that door, and as you open it, you see what basically looks like a little sort of almost like no, I'm wrong with pink. What is a general sort of cafeteria room, waiting room, food room. There's like a bit of sort of food things over here. There's like tables. And what basically, as you open the door, you're greeted by a 6 pairs. Wait, no, 3 pairs, 6 total. Dull-looking eyes looking at you from the table in the back. Basically, they are people, probably, but most of their visible body is just metal. Their eyes are shiny, probably cyber eyes. Their limbs are bulky and full of unnecessarily, like, old tech, basically. Their legs are malformed, and so one of them has like bent back legs. They are, if they weren't real, they might be funny to look at from their grotesque appearance. But right now, as they sort of look at you and quickly stand up, probably not to be nice to you. It certainly isn't very funny. They do look dangerous, just due to the amount of cyberware they have. It's not particularly quality, but there's a lot of it in these people.
Do we want to be having to fight this guys?
Oh, you're gonna fight them or do something else because they're coming for you.
Yeah,
as basically one of them flips the table, as the 2 others just set in movement towards the door where you are.
Well, I don't think being quiet is now an option, so...
It's like a thump as the table flipped over.
Yeah, well, alright.
My thought was for avoiding the consequence of that.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, we can go forward. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we could avoid it, but...
I mean, part of the argument, of course, is the fact that we might encounter these on the way out. So...
Yeah...
I mean, good thing I have good thing the alarm's on delay.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll take them slightly longer to get the
I
alarm
mean,
out.
how would we avoid them? They flipped the table and are running towards us.
I think we do a
There
flashback
was like a
where
void
this never
consequence.
happened.
We didn't actually just open up the door straight and just make ourselves straight revealed, but we,
Yeah,
we peeked around.
like, we avoided it. This is what would have happened, but we did this instead, basically.
Isn't it sort of assumed though that we sort of open every door pretty carefully in here? I mean, we didn't just fling the door, kick the door open, and all guns pointed in. Probably, probably snuck a peek in, but they noticed us anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing of the avoid consequence kind of situation, but...
Yeah. I think we're gonna see these guys anyway.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I think
If you don't want to do anything, then yeah, this is the situation. They're coming for you. If you do nothing, they're gonna, like, the 2 coming for you pretty obviously have big, bulky cyber arms with razor blades for hands, as was style years and years ago.
well.
So
Thymara
this is
will draw her pistol.
basically items used from old samurais.
Well, back then there weren't really any street samurai. Cyberware was very new still, and I mean, the technology is not good. It rips your essence out to insane degrees. Hence, these people probably don't have a lot of emotions or anything really. They probably just act on what instructions they've been given because they're unable to think of anything else to do.
Well, regardless, unless you guys are gonna be like, this didn't happen because I did this, True Warrior is gonna, the moment he gets up and flips the table, she's gonna draw back both her katana.
Right.
Thymara will draw her pistol.
This was True Warrior was the front one who's in the door then. So what do you do? Tell me what you do. They're coming for you, they're gonna cut you down or stab into you and rip you to shreds unless you do something.
She draws both her katanas and get ready to stab the, well, not, mostly instead just cut open the one who cuts closest to her, and she's gonna be the walking tank. So she has 5 against.
Did she move to engage with them?
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Definitely.
All right. Sure. Well, go and fight them. There are 2 of them, but you're still outnumbering them.
Yeah.
So
Want me to roll?
so they will not have their advantage there.
Want me to roll?
Yeah, sure. Let's see how well you fight them. The danger here, these are cybernetically enhanced. Now, because you're 5 people, basically, this is only going to be a risky roll. You could push yourself and make it a desperate roll if you want to have a chance to kill or kill like a whole one just in one attack. Otherwise, they're probably going to take a bit more than that just to take down. Simply because they don't really, much of them wouldn't really react to being cut into other than disabling that body part.
Well, Jordan, knowing that, would go for killing one of them.
So you want to push it to be a desperate action
I think I
for
can
great
kill.
effect?
I think I can kill one of them with my attack.
Right. You would basically attack more and defend less by doing so. That's the trade-off.
That's something she would do.
All right, sure.
So a desperate action.
Yeah.
Want me to put an X there?
Yes, whenever you do a desperate action, you get an X there.
Let's do it. So, what do I get then? Should I add more or?
You get your dice as normal.
Yeah, but what it means is the outcome, if you do well, will be even better.
If you do badly, they will basically hurt you a lot more.
Right.
You do
If
well.
you do good, things will go a lot better for you.
Well,
yeah?
I have 4 dice, so let's hope. There's a 6.
All right. Well, that means that I suppose Chew Warrior sort of moves in quickly, and as they just like charge with their claws, dodges one of them and like cuts the other one, like in the cybernetic heart that gives out and makes it just sort of stutter and electrically like spasm back, as the one in the back just sort of moves up to take a shot at the people in the door. He has like a big gun that's sort of built into his shoulder.
Which one? The one behind the table?
Behind the table, yeah.
Let's do.
When she cuts into the first one, she'll say, "Rest, Kinshi. Your soul is waiting."
Is anyone else doing anything? Or just
Oh yeah, no, I
yeah.
don't know how this works. Is there initiative?
Tell
Like, how do
me what you do.
I shoot them with the grenade launcher.
All right.
With the grenade launcher? Damn.
Yeah, fuck
a
these
bit-
people.
Sure.
Jesus.
Why the hell not?
These are like, oh, they're walking tanks. Take 2 sword cuts to take down. Well then, guess what, motherfuckers?
The one engaged with Chew Warrior or the one in the back?
No, the ones in the back. I don't want to hit you more with a grenade launcher. And now
Alright,
Ziegler would like, looking around the door, seeing what's going on, seeing the firing squad lining up at the back. He will basically, just shout out a command to Plank, who opens up like the back of him, and like the grenade launcher basically just raises up like, zzz, and he grabs it off Plank's back. He just aims it down from the door to the back of the room and lets loose a grenade.
all right.
Trying to incinerate them.
Well, grenade launchers, I think, are mostly desperate, if you would agree, simply because
Sure.
messing up with a grenade launcher can cause severe consequences.
No, I sure that's fine.
All right, sure. If you're popping in and just firing that thing.
That's fine.
Remember to take your desperate XP for that.
Yep.
And then let's see how well you try to shoot the guy. The danger here is that you miss. You might injure. There's a chance that you might injure True Warrior, or blow up something structurally important, or of course that the guy, as you move out to shoot, he might shoot you in turn.
I will. Warburg will also, of course, leap into action here and assist with covering fire.
Sure. Yes, his programming stress that he can use because you're a rigger, and that's what you do.
Right, that's right. Assist me, Warburg. As we try to smack this.
Mhm.
If I push myself, is it 2 karma?
Yes.
And you gain a die.
Might be worth it in this situation.
Danger, of course, is it's also karma is also what you need to defend, so be careful of that.
We'll push. I push myself.
All right.
2 karma.
Yeah, the rulebook says that karma is what you spend when you want to be awesome.
Right. Warburg is shooting. Karma is being spent. Grenades are flying.
Something
Yeah.
will happen here. I'm not sure what, but something will happen.
Something will happen. Let's see. And again, no bonus die for the desperate. It's just great effect.
Yes.
Great effect.
4.
All right. Which means that yes, you shoot him with a grenade. So that's pretty great. However, as you pop out to shoot, he shoots back. He doesn't dodge the grenade, as well. Maybe he doesn't have the state of mind to do that. He just hits him like in the face and then detonates his face. However, as he does, basically, just a line of bullets will hit Sovereign, like probably like in shoulder, neck area, and this would be a severe harm to him.
If I have heavy armor on, how does that work?
Well, each level of armor would reduce it by 1. So you would first have armor, which would make it just sort of bad harm, and then heavy armor, which would reduce it by a second 1 to make it just a level 1 wound, which might be, for example, say that he has armor that covers that area. So now he's just bruised, as the armor has been.
I'll take that. I happen to have my heavy old combat armor on.
Yeah, it's flak.
Yep. So I'll put 1x into 1 wound.
Well, generally you would write where it is, because it's whenever that is relevant. So I suppose we would say
bruised neck,
bruised shoulder. Yeah,
shoulder.
Might be relevant when you shoot, but it might not be relevant when you have to run away. Say.
Okay.
So he, like, we have, like, that scene where the grenade flies and we see him just like stand there with his dumb face as it just hits it, and we hear just a moment of silence, and then just like splatter and table pieces like fly everywhere. Right? Yep. Yeah. There is, however, another one fighting with True Warrior still, and this is certainly not something that's. I mean, this is now. There's no reason to be quiet, right? Because a grenade has exploded in the dining room, the cafeteria.
We can't be quiet anymore, guys. A grenade has exploded in the cafeteria.
So, however, before anyone can respond, of course, this other one. Fighting True Warrior will sort of just raise his like cybernetic claws, not really recognizing all the splinters and such that hits him from behind due to the grenade, and he just cuts out to see if he can gut True Warrior, cutting her up. What's she doing here? Fighting this brutal machine monster.
Well, one of them is dead.
Yes, one of them is dead. The other one got a grenade in his face, but there's still one left here.
And he's trying to cut me.
That was 6.
Yes. He's trying to basically move in and like just hug her and then stab the blades into her back. He's like an orc, bigger than True Warrior.
Oh, an Oni.
That's very racist to say, but sure.
Well, that's what she would have heard.
It's very Japanese to say.
Well, he's okay, yeah, but she's still working on not being like that.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, let's see. When he tries to go hug her, she'll try to stab, like in between her arm and her stomach with the.
It's like attacking from behind, like.
Yeah, when he goes to hug her, yeah, she'll try to stab him back.
All right.
When he moves to getting close, she'll stab him in the gut.
So are we doing another all or nothing roll, or?
Yeah.
All right.
I can do one more. I can do 2 more.
You wanna push yourself as well?
Yeah.
All right. Why not? Add your 2 karma and.
I did, and added a desperate action.
All right.
It is desperate action, right?
Sure. If you want to just go for murdering him and being cool.
I'm not gonna get hugged by an Oni.
Yeah, sure.
No 6s.
Yeah. So basically, he moves in, and you do the cool thing of standing for a moment and then moving the sword in under your arm, like to stab him in the chest as he hugs him from behind. And you do. However, he doesn't seem like. You hear like the electronic screech of your katana stepping into metal as he pulls himself forward on the blade. And like digs his claws into your torso. to rip at tendons and muscle and blood and whatever else you have.
You are muted.
I have some dermal plating though. That gives me +1 to armor.
Oh, this would definitely be severe harm, and it would be like gouged chest.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you would need help to do much of anything. Yeah.
You can also declare that you're wearing heavy armor on top of everything else.
Does your dermal armor reduce it by 1 step, correct, Manaki?
Yes, thermal armor is another piece of armor.
That
You
It's
have
underneath
the
my
special
skin.
armor, basically.
So that would reduce it down to moderate harm. Then
Then if you're
Yeah,
wearing heavy armor, it would be 2 more. So
Or just
nullify it?
armor,
Question mark?
because it stacks.
Would it nullify it?
If you have armor, heavy armor, and thermal armor, yes.
Then let's do that.
His claws would, as you hear the screeching metal, you attack armor, and then basically heavy armor costs 2 load to have. 1 for normal armor, and then 2 extra for heavy armor, for a total of 3 load.
Do I
so
need
you would,
3 load?
you would, yes, basically.
Oh, I thought it was only 2 because I had dermal plating.
Well, the thing is, you get a level 3 wound, basically. Each level of armor reduces it by 1. So you have normal armor, that's down to level 2. Then you have heavy armor, that's down to level 1, and then dermal armor would make it gone.
Okay.
So you attack that one too
Oh,
for having it, and then you would have these 2 are your armor boxes, and you have 1 special armor.
okay. So I would have to tag these 3 and
Yep.
the special.
Yeah, and then the 2 armor boxes by your wounds. Because the other one is just that you have broad armor.
By my wounds.
Okay,
Up
I
there.
have a question then.
That one and that one. Yeah, sure.
Just because I'm looking at a thing that I have, that you can resist combat harm with usually body. How does that work then?
Resisting harm is if you say, if he says, no, I don't get gouged by him. I stab him and then I dodge out of the way. That is resisting harm. And then you would then say, well, and then we'll see how well you do that always. We'll see how much it strains you. And then you would roll your body attribute and take 6 stress minus that.
yeah, there was a whole resist
your roll.
confidence thing from before. Same thing.
So was it both of
Same thing you did for seducing the guy,
Yeah,
except
it's
now in
just
combat.
like a resist. All right, cool.
Okay, then that's
All right, so I suppose his claws just hit and scratches at her torso without being able to penetrate it, just digging into the armor, but not actually hurting at all. Until like the point where his body just like slumps back and falls dead. You have a second here to do something before more people show up, most likely. You're in the door. There's like two dead of these people here. The room is sort of a shock wave has moved through it, and like the tables are spread everywhere. You're in the door, sort of standing in this area here.
Was there any other door out from this room except the one we came in?
No.
All right, then we will turn around and start basically opening up the other doors, and basically now we're just cleaning this place out at this point. Like no more being quiet. Now it's just attack.
I think a rush.
I would check this door first because I don't want to get backstabbed. We also have Warburg looking
door.
behind us all the time with all guns trained like down the corridors, and we don't get run into the back.
Yeah. As you basically open this door here, there's like a room of this size here, with bunk beds. I suppose you will open it, and like standing right behind it, about to open it as well, is another one of these cybernetically enhanced things. In the room, there are 2 more behind it, who are going to. I mean, they're basically moving to attack you, right? Who opened the door? There was Ziegler, or?
I mean, Ziegler was kind of busy shooting a grenade, so since I want to actually move, you actually actually opened up the door and suddenly sees all this inside.
Sure, she sees those 3. Then I suppose the last person paying attention was not fighting in the other room would have been Weiss, who would then and Ziegler probably also would hear this because he's used to that sound. Would hear a whirring as a a pair of sort of flying drones with machine guns under them were out of this room.
All right, I shoot the drones with grenades.
Well, let's give the two others a chance to act first, as we have our dear Decker opening a door with basically face to face with a big, like a troll with the big. He has like big fist hands, probably built for construction or something.
So suddenly opening the door and seeing that before her, Ashley will panic slightly, draw up her fine quality Ares Predator pistol, and I suppose will try to blast this guy before he gets a chance to hit her.
All right, so point blank shoot.
Point blank shoot
the
right,
big mech troll.
trying to shoot him right through the head.
All right. Now, you're not sure that just a shot through the head is going to kill him, but it might certainly get you a chance to not be torn open immediately.
Unless I want to go desperate, just keep multi-firing, I suppose. But even then,
This is going to be desperate.
Yeah, okay.
He's going for you, and you have to pull a gun on him and shoot his head. But let's see. Let's like you can certainly It's a desperate roll, definitely.
Yep. I can certainly see how this might be a desperate situation. Okay. Do I want to spend anything here on? Yeah, I should probably. I'll spend 2 karma to push myself.
All right.
This is an important shot.
Not the time to fumble.
Nope. Ooh.
Well, I suppose we would see you simply draw the gun and like shoot, and it just like goes in through a cyber eye and comes out the other side, but he doesn't react at all to the shot.
Can you reroll?
That would cost 3 karma to do.
Oof.
And you wouldn't get the bonus die for pushing yourself. You would just get the base roll.
That's a lot.
And he will basically just like he doesn't stab you because he doesn't have stabby hands. Instead, what he would do is he would just like fall on top of you and crush you with his huge metal troll body.
Perhaps not. Perhaps because Ashley is pretty athletic. All her time in the gang's trying to evade getting caught. She just sidesteps out of the way.
All right. He's been in that position before. Big troll trying to lay on top of her.
Hey-o.
It was a gang leader normally doing it, but you know.
Oh dear.
All right. Sure.
Resist. 4 resist.
Right. Then you take 2 karma. You're assisted, and you step out of the way as he now like is out in the hall, right? Because he basically like. So as you step forward and step away, and he like just stumbles out here. Instead, the 2 others probably going to follow.
Nice.
Vice currently is looking down the hallway and seeing the 2 drones whir out of the door. Basically coming towards. They have like little camera lens eyes, and then their little guns on them. The rotor blades spinning quickly as they're moving out. All this is happening at once, right? So right now, 2 warriors cutting down. We hear the grenade has just exploded, as AzureWeb is being dodging a troll that stumbles out. I guess he's out blocking the way for the drones, I suppose.
Yeah, I think Vice would try and deal with that troll first by trying to shoot it in maybe a bit of a better spot than what Ashley did.
All right. Well, you're not immediately engaged with it. No one's trying to kill you right now. So I suppose that would be risky. The risk being that he would engage with you.
Okay.
As you're basically standing still to shoot, right? To take good aim and.
You know, what if I just wanted to ramp shit up and make this all desperate?
All right. Well, you tell me what you're doing that makes it extra effective and maybe also extra dangerous. Like, how are you pushing yourself?
Literally stepping up and basically putting the gun to the troll's head.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Point blank.
That's definitely in the spirit of things. Yeah.
You're trying to go execution mode here.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
sure.
Get the fuck up.
Yeah, that's desperate. Like, you might just choose to target you instead. You know.
I'll I'll push myself as well for the 2 karma.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Success.
I suppose you coolly step up and execute him by a shot that splits the spine in half. As it just like, stumbles out where he would have stepped on top of AzureWeb and then just like gets shot in the neck and just falls, collapses on the ground. The 2 drones just like having a moment of worrying as they just sort of look at the scene before they probably begin shooting through the hallway. With the 2 others in the room, we have Ziegler probably hearing the whirring of these drones as they come down the hallway. Ears maybe still ringing from the grenade launch shot.
So, at this point, because the drones, we knew there were drones, gonna be drones here, and if Ziegler knows a thing or two about things, it is the drones. And so for this, maybe there's a flashback where Ziegler prepares a special grenade to take out drones, an EMP grenade.
EMP grenade.
Yep, that he could shoot down the hall and basically knock out the drones without hurting anyone else, really. Anti-drone grenade.
Sure, let's see. That's something he could have done. He would have had to acquire the materials for it, so that's going to be a 2 stress.
Okay.
A flashback, basically, as we see him like, a glint in the eye, looking out the door, putting in the special grenade.
Oh yes.
We know what it does. He knows what it does.
Yes.
All right.
This is the
So
special
how basically we do here is we would see how this is not dangerous for you, but we'll see how good of an EMP grenade is this.
So wait, when you say stress, is that karma? That's karma.
Karma,
right?
yeah. Karma.
Oh, okay.
In actual ways, that is called stress. So,
Okay.
so sometimes my
Oof, I
sometimes
don't
my
have
words-
much more. I need to unwind after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, special grenade. Let's go.
Now, you
See how
did-
well it's made.
Now, technically,
Plank.
your drone has engineering on
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm gonna say. Of course, Plank was very important in assisting building this. Putting all his resources and AI into
can,
this stuff.
Blow some of his AI on that, and then you
Yep.
can.
Yep, I'm gonna throw an assist from Plank in. So we
Now,
are gonna have
1 to 3, there's going to be a fault. 4 to 5, it's going to be decent. A 6 is going to be awesome.
Okay. Well, let's see if the drones get hit, or if, what happens when the grenade hits.
Well,
Huh.
yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I suppose we see it fly in the air, detonate between them as they just like fall to the ground, harmless. Not
See-
even their shots or anything.
Ziegler draws an extra breath from his cigarette. As planned.
Uh-huh. And as that is said, perhaps True Warrior moves up behind him to look as well as the 2 other big mechanical. I mean, they really are mostly orcs and trolls. Weirdly enough, stumble out basically, and these ones have like bladed clawed hands as well. One of them has just his normal troll claws. Trolls have claws, as it turns out, and his ones have been plated with some sort of metal, and the other one is an orc with the racer blade hands, and a very bulky data jack that seems to have taken up most of his brain and such. Moving to. I suppose one would go for Ziegler and the other one would go for probably AzureWeb, as she's probably closer.
I think that sounds about
Although
right.
is she? Because like, I think it'd be a toss up
Door, she's
between.
stumbling out the door, so
Yeah, but
Well, I
Thymara kind
mean,
of moved up, didn't she?
You can always jump in front of whatever damage she might take.
Well, Thymara's too pretty to hit, so they can try.
We don't know if she's going to take damage. It depends on what AzureWeb does when this one walks out. You can certainly get their attention if you want to have one go for you.
Yeah, I'll get the attention of one at very least.
Right. So Ziegler's one we'll see just Vice step in front of it, I suppose. As they I mean, they know what they're doing. They just want to get really close to you, sort of your head smashed into their chest as they want to just huggle you and then rip out your spine with their claws.
We would much rather they didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So how does AzureWeb try to not have that happen?
Well,
How does she?
well,
What do you do?
seeing them approach like this.
They're big, they're fast, they're dangerous. You have no sense of self-preservation or pain.
She will go ahead, gun in hand, attempt to seeing it rapidly approach, attempt to bring it down to the ground, trying to shoot both its legs so it can't walk.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully make it collapse to the ground. Stop charging her.
Uh-huh. Now, is she standing still while doing this?
No, I think she'd be backing up.
All right, it's gonna make it a little more difficult to do because you're moving and shooting, obviously. But of course, we could just make it desperate and give you normal effect anyway.
Fine, this will be desperate. We'll see. Yeah, I can work with desperate, I suppose. Though this is gonna be interesting. Ashley will